Arne, there was so much good about that performance in midweek against Marseille. Is it about finding that consistency now and taking that into the game against Bournemouth?
Yeah, I think consistency is key in every season for every team. But it's hard to compare a game against Marseille with Premier League games. But maybe Bournemouth is a similar type of team as Marseille is, because they both want to play, they're both intense, they both play at a high intensity. So, but yeah, we all know how difficult it is in this Premier League to be consistent, because it's maybe fair to say that Arsenal's the team that's been consistent throughout the whole season, and Villa comes close to that, and the rest of the teams struggle maybe with consistency.
But there is so much to play for towards the latter stages of this season for Liverpool in the position that you're in too.
Yes, of course, there is, which is normal for Liverpool, that in the second part of the season there's still a lot to play for. Of course, in the league, 14 points behind is a lot, but we're still in the Champions League, and we're in a good position in the Champions League and in the FA Cup as well. So yeah, the second part of the season is always the one where you have to find, if possible, even more consistency. Now, that's hopefully for us not too difficult to find more consistency than parts of the first half of the season. Although people sometimes tend to forget that we are quite consistent when it comes to not losing, because we're 13 games unbeaten now.
You mentioned the second half of the season. Would you say we're seeing the best of the signings that joined Liverpool in the summer in this second half of the season now? And I'm talking about Wirtz and I'm talking about Kerkez, because they've had to deal with a lot, haven't they, since coming here, and the way that they've handled themselves as well. But we're now seeing that on the pitch too.
Yeah, I think what people tend to forget is the age of these players. I can assure you that not only in the second half of the season we will see the best of them. Next season they will even be better, and the season afterwards they will even be better. That's what happens when you're 21, 22, 23, 24. There's so much more to come for you, especially if you go to a different level, which the Premier League is and the Champions League is. So I think there's a lot to come for these players. It's completely normal that players are not at their best yet when they're 22 or 21. That's also the way the way this club is run. We sign younger players because we think they're already very good, but we can make them even better as a club. But definitely also because of their age, there's a lot of room for them to improve, and we've seen that already this season. But I'm 100% sure next season they will even be better, and the season afterwards they will be better than next season.
In and around the training ground though, how have they handled themselves? If you can give us some insight into that in the first half of the season when maybe they weren't shining as bright as they are now.
No, I think it's been a difficult start to the season for everyone, and with the start I mean pre-season. It's really hard to come into a club when a tragedy like that happens. But as I've said so many times, all the players have conducted themselves so well. And I think when it comes to new players, you have to adjust sometimes to the country when you come from another country, which some of our signings did. And then second of all, it depends also a little bit on your personality. Some are introverts, some are extroverts, some need a bit longer to adapt. And a run of games where we are losing a lot, I don't think that helps anyone to adjust to your new surroundings. But I think it says a lot about their mentality that they stayed fit, except for Alex maybe, but he couldn't do anything about that. Because when things go against you, when there's a lot of criticism, it tells you that these players have great mentality to stay fit, because a muscle injury is not far away if you go to different levels of intensity and a lot of criticism. So big compliment to them, and I think we can all see that they are getting stronger, but they're also getting better. Because of the fact that they're more adjusted to their teammates, and physically they've done so much work that I think we can all see that they're able to perform longer and better at Premier League and Champions League level.
I just wonder how the team has changed since that game against Bournemouth at the start of the season, because you've had to adapt, haven't you, to the way that the league has played out this season so far. And what kind of team is it now compared to that from
I
that
think
fixture?
if there's ever a word I would use describing this season is adapt. We knew that it would be a transition with bringing 5-6 players in and 5-6 players going away, but it's been a constant adaptation. So the first game of the season, Ryan Gravenberg was suspended. Is one of the first things I think about. But every single time I think I have a team, I have an injury. So let's take Frankfurt, who people don't remember anymore, 5-1 win with Hugo and Alex up front. But Alex went off at half-time. After Arsenal, very good. After Tottenham, bringing Alex in. Alex and Hugo together. Alex scoring again that game. Had to go off because of an injury of multiple months. Arsenal, very good game with Jeremy Frimpong off the right wing and Conor Bradley behind him. 90th minutes, another long-term injury. So when people look at my lineups, I think it's a constant adaptation. We've been missing Conor Bradley and Jeremy Frimpong for quite a lot of time. So Curtis Jones played there, Joe Gomez played there, Dominic Szoboszlai played there. That means that if they play there, they can play on the midfield. So you have to change your midfield again. The word adaptation is a word I would use to describe this season. But in the meantime, we've dropped a lot of points in the Premier League. But if we take Arsenal out, I think we're close to all the other teams. And we're 4th in the Champions League. So, no, it's not perfect. But it's definitely not bad as well.
A couple of words that you've used quite a lot this season. Low blocks. Steven Gerrard spoken this week, a former captain, about the fact that you talk too much about the low block. How do you respond and react to things like that? As a coach?
Now, of course, I haven't heard him saying exactly, so I have to take from you what his words nonetheless were. But I think Steven Gerrard has always been very positive and still is very positive about a Liverpool Football Club. He cares so much about it. And I think I can only agree with him that I speak a lot of low blocks because we face
a lot of low blocks.
And if people ask me after the game what my opinion about the game is, then I have to describe
the low blocks.
Low blocks, but I can also say time-wasting football, or I can use different words for it as well. Which low block doesn't have to mean that you are time-wasting, by the way, but I see that not only, but forget about it. So I think what Steven said, he also said he faced them when he played. Yeah, I think he was also one of the players that could unlock that low block because of the quality he had. So I spoke. I think one day before the game that if I want to have a top goal scorer that's still playing, I have to look at Mo Salah because Ian Rush is not available anymore. Maybe I can try to convince Steven to get a comeback to help us out in those games, because a 30-yard strike could definitely unlock a low block as well. No, but I agree with him. It's a lot is being said about it, and maybe I should try to find other words or just simply not talk about it anymore, because it makes no sense. People know now, and we go on, and maybe we don't face it anymore. That's also a possibility, because tomorrow I think Bournemouth has always been a very intense team to play against, and they will be like that tomorrow as well.
Well, good luck against Bournemouth, and thank you.
Thank you.